The following program shares opinions from its host and its host only. No opinions are those shared by League Arena officials or LeagueArena.com. View with caution. Tonight on the Penalty Box, we break down the VHL Eastern Conference playoff matchups. Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to another episode of the Penalty Box with your host, Kalal Oakman. Tonight, I'm breaking down the Eastern Conference playoff matchups. On the next episode, we'll break down the Western Conference matchups. But tonight, we're going to start things off in the East. We're going to go with the number one seed, the Boston Bruins, versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll break down that matchup and the others coming up next.
The Penalty Box, presented by LeagueArena.com, the largest online gaming community in the world, with VHL Network and League Arena News. Stay connected.
Boston hosting Tampa Bay. Welcome back. Our first playoff matchup tonight is the number one seed Boston Bruins versus the number 8 seed the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, as you remember from last year, the Tampa Bay Lightning did make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, so they are not a team to be taken lightly. The Boston Bruins are led by Ricochet, Hellrift, Krabby Pants, and Oil King in net, whereas the Tampa Bay Lightning with Walshinator have Zackrell, Jump Shot, Sir Sandman, and Medan. Now, Boston is 2-0 in this series, head-to-head against Tampa Bay. This should be a very, very hard-hitting, slow-paced defensive matchup. It should be, on paper. Now, anything can happen once they hit the ice, but in my personal opinion, I think Boston is not going to overlook this team, and I think Tampa Bay is not going to take Boston too lightly. It should be a very, very good playoff series. I look forward to seeing more scores, more highlights and stuff from this series, and more. When we come back, we're going to break up the number 2 New York Islanders versus the Washington Capitals. Be right back. New York Islanders versus the Washington Capitals in our next playoff matchup. The New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals in their head-to-head series, the New York Islanders were victorious with one game. They only faced each other one time. That's it. The New York Islanders beat them in that game. The New York Islanders have Cash and June, Try to Try Me, and Jamaican Man, and It's No Joke in net. Whereas the Washington Capitals, with the restructured ownership group, as Plymouth as acting owner, he's taken this team from the ashes and actually secured a playoff spot. This is a team that should not be taken lightly, nor should the Islanders. Islanders have been gritty all season. But with the Washington Capitals, like I said, led by Plymouth, they have the aesthetic hope, Sour Slapshot, Ricky Ricardo in net. Now, this should be another very good playoff series. The New York Islanders have shown over the season that they are a contender. They are a team that should not be taken lightly. They have taken teams to multiple overtimes. They have flat out dominated some other teams. The teams that they should have beat, they beat. The teams that they've played tough, playoff style hockey, they did. Okay? This should be a very, very good series. And if I know Plymouth's going to have his guys ready to play like it's the finals. They will not take the New York Islanders lightly. This isn't going to be a pushover series. I don't foresee a sweep in this series at all. It should be very entertaining hockey. When we come back after this quick short break, we'll break up the remaining remaining two games in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. Don't go away.
I guess everybody gets bad breaks sometimes, Darth.
Yeah, I guess that's true. With the New York Rangers, it's unfortunate that they had to start the season that way and come out of the hole like that. But I mean, have you seen them lately?
They have.
Have you?
They're on a tear. I wish.
Now you're back to the point with Doris and Don.
Blog Talk Radio.
Atlanta hosting Buffalo. Welcome back. Now, our next playoff series is the number 3 seed Atlanta Thrashers hosting the number 6 seed, the Buffalo Sabres. The Atlanta-Buffalo series over the season was a split 1 game apiece. Atlanta's going to be putting out Mahudi, Extreme, and Kopitar with their goaltender Vicious in net. The Sabres are going to be answering that with Stone Age, Bud, Tyrant, and Rendu DBI with Molten Grog in net. Now, both these teams have been jockeying for position all season. Atlanta's been in control of their Southeast Division for pretty much the whole season. Buffalo has been riding the coattails of the Boston Bruins. Not taking anything against Buffalo, it's just that Boston opened up with a huge lead. It was hard for Boston to try and claw their way back into it. Both teams had losing streaks over the season. Both teams look to be gearing up for the playoffs. This should be another very good playoff matchup. It's a toss-up between these two teams. Who knows what team's going to show up, what team's going to be hot, what team's not, if it's going to go into multiple overtimes. I don't know. The only thing I do know is I guarantee you it's going to be solid VHL playoff hockey from both Buffalo and Atlanta, as both these teams are going to try and prove to the rest of the league that, hey, just because we're not Boston, or we're not Tampa Bay, and we don't have the all-star recognition of Hall of Fame owners and players such as Washington, Tampa Bay, the New York Islanders, or the Devils, don't take them lightly. And believe me, I'm not. I expect this to be gritty, hard-hitting, possibly go the distance. So, Buffalo, Atlanta should be a very good series to watch and follow. We'll be right back with our final matchup. Don't go away. Hell on Ice, Devils versus the Penguins, next. Welcome back. Our final matchup is the New Jersey Devils versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. These two division rivals do not like each other. Not one bit. They've been duking it out within their own division all year. And they're in the, quite frankly, what is the toughest playoff bracket is the 4 and 5. The 4 and 5. They're basically, it's a mirror match. The New Jersey Devils and the Pittsburgh Penguins split their series 1 game apiece. The New Jersey Devils, with Bombay as GM, have Crusher, the MVP, Matt the Cool Cat, and with Beaton in net. And also Jerry Sin. Pittsburgh is going to be answering that with Smirky, Hall of Fame nominee, Epcon, Nash 61, Madad, and Hot Rivet in net. Now, don't take anything lightly, folks. This matchup, I know I've said it in the past, it's a cliche, it's the playoffs, anything can happen, but this is going to be a bloodbath. These two teams do not like each other, not one bit. They hate each other. It's going to be the ultimate rivalry game. I look forward to it. So, that breaks down the Eastern Conference. We'll see you at Center Ice when the puck drops for the Eastern Conference playoffs. Good night. Way too much, Ivan, that's for sure. Ivan, how come you are at Moscow International Airport? Where are you going?
I happen to be. This is the only safest place away from the gypsies.
You are being attacked by gypsies.
They follow me everywhere. This is the only place I'm safe. I hope they don't come in there. I'm in the bathroom stall. How embarrassing is that? I'm doing an interview in the bathroom of Moscow Airport.